get ready to hate me. Get ready to feel like an absolute beginner, because this is going to be one tricky exercise here. All right. So I like to work on my inside picking. Okay. If you don't know what inside picking is, you're picking like it sounds inside the strings, right? If I asked you to alternate pick as fast as you could on the B and E string, E and B, 90+% of us would start an upstroke on the high E and a downstroke on the B string, right? You're on the outside. When you're up, you're on the right. When you're down, you're on the left, right? That's outside picking. When you're inside the strings, you're going to start on the downstroke on the E, upstroke on the B, right? So you're not having to cross over the string to get to the outside of it. You're down, up on the inside, right? And if you're not used to doing this, you'd be lucky to rattle off 8 notes before you fumbled with your pick, right? Because getting that upstroke, getting everything back in time, it's really, really tricky. This is a technique and an exercise that just doesn't seem to get enough love, because I think it kind of gets lumped in with the whole like shredder category. But this is something, man, if you play guitar in any kind of way, like this is something that needs to be worked on, because it helped me tremendously with soloing. Because I noticed, like, when I first started scales and stuff, for whatever reason, I started everything on an upstroke. Like somebody pointed it out to me. And then I started doing things on a downstroke. And then going down up kind of tripped me up because I was so used to going up down, right? And so I realized, like, oh, okay, sometimes I'd be in a solo or something, and instead of like starting on an upstroke or whatever in a certain area, I'd hit a downstroke and then I would fumble the lick because I didn't pick correctly, right? And so when you get your inside picking like a good 70-80% up to par with your outside picking, everything starts to balance out, and then you can start any note, any solo, any phrase, any lick on an upstroke or downstroke, and then pick it, and you're not going to fumble through it because you'll be proficient in going both ways, going outside the string and going inside the string, right? So when you start doing this, I mean, you're going to feel kind of like a beginner for a little bit, right? So, and I had different variations of it. You could just sit here and go with one finger, but I like to get more things out of one exercise. So we're working on hand coordination, you're working on string pressure, letting off the strings, you're also getting some pinky work, right? So here's the pattern. All right, you're going to start on a downstroke on the E string on the 5th fret, right? And then you're going to go upstroke on 7 on the B string, okay? And then you're going to go back to 5 on the E with a downstroke, and then use your pinky on 8 for the upstroke. Okay, and after you do it twice, reverse it, and then have your pinky go 5-8, 5-7, right? So you go 5-7, 5-8, 5-7, 5-8, 5-8, 5-7. All right, so you got 5-7, 5-8, 5-7, 5-8, 5-8, 5-7, 5-8, 5-7, right? And you just keep going up and down the whole thing from 5 to 8. Go up every string, right? So real slow, you'd have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Right? And you just keep going. And the lick in itself, you see it and you're like, oh, well, that's easy. How can this be difficult? Well, it's the way I'm picking it that makes it difficult, right? So you got to make sure that every time, you can see here, like you want your pick to be down, up, down, up. Okay, you don't want up, down. We're not doing this. We're staying inside the 2 strings. Right? See all the dirt on my guitar there? Right? I guarantee you, if you work on this and you're gonna fumble, you're gonna want to quit. You're not gonna want to do it because it's gonna make you feel like you just suck so bad at the guitar, right? But I guarantee you, just stick with it. Do a little bit every day, very slow with a metronome. I'm at like 70 beats a minute, if that. I mean, just go slow and just sit there on 2 strings. You don't want to sit there and just go or play it static. You want to have your fingers moving so you can use it in a practical way, right? So you want to always, I mean, you can just go up the neck. Just make sure you're starting on a downstroke on the E and an upstroke on the B. So the low string's always a down, the higher string above it is always an up when you're inside picking, right? So work on that and have fun. it's not going to be that fun, but it's challenging for sure. So I just thought I'd do a little video for it. I was sitting here practicing it. I was like, man, that's really difficult. Like, I bet other people struggle with this. So it's a little exercise to help it out. So hope you find this useful. Just practice it slow.